It's 7 o'clock, and you're watching Good Day OK.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Good Day OK.
We appreciate you being with us. It is going to be a hot one out there. Yeah. Carlo Falco, give us something good that we can hold on to today.
Eventually, it's going to cool off.
What, like August?
September?
Yeah.
Do we have to wait till November or something? I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, you do. To get to real consistent cooling temperatures, you really do have to wait until end of September, early October. But high pressure is going to eventually break. It has a pretty good stranglehold on the weather for right now and for the rest of this week and into this weekend. These two areas of high pressure are going to just continue to keep these heat very, very high. Excessive heat warning in effect for central and northern Oklahoma. It's going to feel like closer to about 110 degrees as you go throughout this afternoon. And the heat index is going to be a real big deal. So high temperatures right around 100 degrees, heat index even higher. Could see those heat indices push about 110 for Oklahoma City. Throughout the morning, it's going to be unusually warm. It's going to be beautiful pool weather. Head out there, 95 to 98 degrees by about 4 p.m. Lots of sunshine. Don't forget that sunscreen, though. We got cooler weather coming. We'll talk about it in your Storm Watch forecast.
Lucky Star Casino, steer clear. Traffic update. Good morning. It is 7:01, and you know what that means. Things are going to start picking up across the metro right now, though. We only have a couple of pockets of yellow that have developed along I-35. Nothing to be concerned about right now. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this construction project while we have the time. One lane, I-35 southbound between North 27th and South 19th. That's going to happen at 10 o'clock this evening and continue until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning and nightly through Saturday. We also have the one lane on the northbound side between 19th and 27th beginning around 10 o'clock this evening and continuing until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. That, though, will wrap up tomorrow. Let's take a live look outside at your Lucky Star Casino steer clear traffic tracker. Our tracker cruising right along through this area. As I said before, we are not seeing any huge issues across the entire metro. We'll let you know if and when that changes. Never wait more than 10 minutes for traffic and weather together.
All right, thank you, Emily. We have breaking news. In the past 30 minutes, Oklahoma City police have identified where a shooting happened earlier this morning, where one person ended up going to the hospital.
Yeah, and Sade was at that hospital. Now she's at this apartment complex near May and Memorial Road. Sade.
Yeah, that's right, Chris and Jasmine. And actually, we just got done talking with Oklahoma City police, and they're saying that they're actually unsure if this is a shooting or a stabbing. I'm going to step off to the side so you can see what's going on of the incident. You can see that officers are still out here on scene. We know that that initial call came out of when that person was transported to the hospital around 4:15. Now, this exact scene, they say that there was an altercation that happened inside or either outside of the apartment complex, and that person was taken to the hospital right off of Broadway Extension and Britain. And they also say that there were multiple people out here, so they are interviewing multiple witnesses as well. But you can see that they are still processing the scene, that there's also a crime scene unit that also just arrived not too long ago. So we'll check with officers out here to see if they have any updated information, and if they do, we'll let you know right here on Good Day OK as well as online. Back to you.
All right, Sade, thank you. More breaking news from early this morning. 2 firefighters are injured after battling a vacant house fire. Oklahoma City fire crews say the fire started near Northeast 14th and Killam around 3 this morning. A brick wall collapsed while crews were fighting the fire, injuring one. A second firefighter was checked out for dehydration. Fox 25's Wayne Stafford will join us in the next 30 minutes. He'll have an update from crews on the scene. Right now, it's unknown what caused this fire.
Another fire from overnight, this one in southwest Oklahoma City. It is now out. You can see here the scene at Southwest 47th near Walker just after 1 o'clock. OKC fire officials say the 4 adults and 2 kids inside managed to escape without getting hurt. They also say that the fire ended up blowing out a window and that it looks like this was an electrical fire.
Well, this morning, it appears President Trump not going to be backing down on his attacks against several Democratic congresswomen. Let's go live to the White House right now. The president, returning from North Carolina this morning, held a big campaign rally yesterday where he went after that group known as the Squad, specifically Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. And now those comments not sitting well with all Republicans, including North Carolina Republican Congressman Mark Walker, who said he, quote, struggled with send her back chants that happened at last night's rally. They came up in reference to Omar. He says that the phrasing is, quote, painful to our friends in minority communities. We'll be following up for the latest for you here at the Live Desk.
Oh, thank you, Dan. This morning, a Norman High School assistant principal is in the Oklahoma County Jail. Robert Davis is accused of sexual assault. Oklahoma City police say back in May, a woman went to his home to drop off his son for t-ball practice. The woman told police she felt sick after drinking tea Davis gave her. Investigators say later that night, the woman woke up to Davis sitting next to her on the bed. The woman says Davis told her he put liquor in her drink when they talked the next day. Norman Public Schools says Davis is currently suspended.
Epic Charter Schools says they've done nothing wrong. That is the company's response to a search warrant served by the OSBI. That warrant accuses the school's co-founders of using so-called ghost students to embezzle millions of dollars via teachers, administrators, and the parents of homeschooled children. The search warrants also show that students were enrolled in the system but received little to no instruction from Epic teachers. It says Charter's co-founders, David Cheney and Ben Harris, recruited those students from homeschooled families and private schools. The search warrant also shows that Harris and Cheney enticed those ghost students to enroll by offering each student a learning fund of up to $1,000 a year. Many parents with homeschool students admit to enrolling their children at Epic to get that learning fund with no intent to receive instruction from Epic. The OSBI did release a brief statement about the investigation, but would not answer any questions from the media. Now, the OSBI agent involved in this case said in the search warrant that he reviewed the founders' bank statements and discovered the co-founders split profits of at least $10 million between 2013 and 2018.
Now, the governor's office responding to the matter. A spokesperson says he's requested a briefing on the investigation from the OSBI, saying in part, quote, as we dig into this matter, the governor is committed to ensuring accountability and transparency with Oklahoma's hard-earned tax dollars, most importantly in our public education system. If there were loopholes used or laws broken, the governor is committed to working with the legislature to address it. Now, Epic is responding to this as well. They say they found out about the investigation nearly 6 years ago. And here's a statement that they released. The school says, quote, more than 2 years ago, the Attorney General's office determined the evidence did not warrant further investigation, and we believe this to be a closed matter, end quote.
New Thunder news this morning. It looks like Chris Paul may be here to stay. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reporting that the Thunder are done discussing a trade. Increasing expectations are that Paul will start this season for OKC. Paul is 34 and has an expensive contract, so as we get later in free agency, he may not be as valuable as what the Thunder front office thought he might have been. Wojnarowski reporting trade possibilities for Paul will most likely come following December 15th, or maybe even until the end of the season. Here's a tweet from Thunder GM Sam Presti. He says getting a player of Chris's caliber gives us another experienced playmaker and leader. Presti also says the additional draft picks from that have come from the Paul George and Russell Westbrook trade will help them commit to the long-term vision that they have for the team.
Let's hope it all works out. Well, the medical marijuana industry is now having an effect on the housing market. A new study shows from the National Association of Realtors shows that in states like Oklahoma that require permission from a doctor to buy marijuana, 10% of realtors say they've seen a price increase in neighborhoods near dispensaries. 12% saw home prices decrease. 14% of realtors said they see marijuana legalization as a factor in tighter home supplies. Oklahomans spent nearly $23 million on medical marijuana products in May alone.
2 people dead this morning following a car crash in Maysville. OHP troopers say that the crash happened around 10:30 last night on State Highway 19. 21-year-old Dustin Davis and 24-year-old Kylie Newey were killed in the crash. Troopers say Davis's car crossed the center line, striking Newey's head-on. Davis was ejected from his car and Newey was pinned for more than 2 hours. Neither one of them were wearing a seatbelt. We've got you back with a reminder on the importance of wearing those seatbelts. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says of the 37,000 people killed in crashes in 2017, 47% were not wearing a seatbelt. A reminder, airbags are designed to work with seatbelts, not to replace them. Make sure the seatbelt is on correctly as well. It should be secured across the pelvis and rib cage. You should never put the shoulder part of the belt behind your back.
Now to an update on the heat alert across the metro. We have been feeling it. IMSA says they've responded to 8 heat-related emergencies yesterday. This makes a total of 22 heat calls since the alert was issued Tuesday. So we've got your back reminding you of the symptoms and signs of heat stroke and exhaustion. The National Weather Service in Norman posting this to their Facebook page. Signs of heat exhaustion are dizziness, excessive sweating, clammy skin, and a weak pulse. Signs of heat stroke are a throbbing headache, no sweating, a rapid pulse, and dry skin.
Now, your Fox 25 Storm Watch forecast from the Reynolds Ford Weather Center.
Heat-related injuries and illnesses are going to be a big issue as you head throughout this afternoon, as we do have an excessive heat warning once again for north central Oklahoma, including the Oklahoma City and Tulsa metros. Down to the south of Cleveland and down into Cleveland County and points to the south of Oklahoma County. That's where you get into the heat advisory, where temperatures will be a little tiny bit cooler and the dew points will be a little bit cooler as well. That means that it's going to be a pretty hot day for today, and certainly we are starting off very warm, right around 80 degrees in Edmond. Winds are pretty strong as well, and those winds are going to stay strong throughout the rest of the afternoon, continuing to pump all of that moisture in from the south. We'll talk about the cooler weather coming in your Storm Watch forecast.
Lucky Star Casino Steer Clear traffic update. Good morning. Things still getting off to a slow start this morning. Not seeing any major delays anywhere in the metro. We do have this non-injury crash, though, that just came in northeast OKC. The inside lane blocked. I-35 northbound just south of Hefner Road. A little bit of yellow starting to develop behind that crash. Right now, though, I really think you're only looking at about a 2 to 3 minute delay. Let's take a live look outside of your Lucky Star Casino Steer Clear traffic tracker. Our tracker is on southbound I-235 near 23rd. I-235 looking fantastic this morning. He's going to head up to I-35 northbound. Check out this crash and we'll see what he finds. Never wait more than 10 minutes for traffic and weather together.
Emily, thank you. A growing trend thousands of miles away, helping you make extra cash at home.
The ways you can get involved in online teaching.
Now, there's not many places in the metro where you can get hands-on, get very creative, and let your imagination run wild. I'm trying to make this look a little something like this. It might take me all week, but it'll be a fun process here at Heartlock Studios. Stay tuned for more right here on Good Day OK.